You find yourself alone again, heart pounding in the quiet darkness. Tears trace your face as you clutch your phone, fighting the urge to reach out to the one who shattered you. You swore it was over, never again, yet here you are, aching for them. The pain is overwhelming, but the loneliness without them feels even worse. In this raw moment, a desperate question echoes in your soul. Why do you keep going back to the arms that hurt you? This isn't just a weakness or a bad habit keeping you tied to a toxic lover. It's something deeper and more powerful. It's what psychologists call a trauma bond, and it can feel as strong as an addiction. Think about it. The same person who causes your pain is also the one who soothes it. After the fights and tears, they swoop in with apologies, tenderness, even the passion that you crave. Your brain, starved for kindness, soaks up those rare moments of love like a sponge. In those moments of relief, your body releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals. Dopamine and oxytocin flood in, giving you a euphoric high. It's intoxicating, like a drug. And just like an addict, you find yourself craving that high again and again, even if it means enduring the agony that comes before it. Each cycle of hurt and comfort forges the bond tighter. The good times are so good that they overshadow the bad, at least for a while. You come to depend on the very person who hurts you for moments of relief from that hurt. It's a twisted paradox. The one swinging the wrecking ball is also the one holding you after the collapse. So you cling to them, hoping each time will be the last time you feel the pain. You dismiss the red flags and silence your intuition because your heart is chained to the promise of love that keeps peeking through the darkness. It's not stupidity, and it's not that you enjoy the pain. It's that your psyche has been trapped in a loop, chained to the pain through intermittent hope. To understand why this bond grips you so tightly, we have to journey back to where these wounds began, your childhood. Our earliest experiences of love lay down an emotional blueprint for what we think love should feel like. If you grew up with caregivers who were cold, unpredictable, or only gave love with strings attached, a part of you learned that love is intertwined with pain. Maybe as a child, you had to earn affection, behaving perfectly to gain a moment of approval, or you lived in fear of anger, always walking on eggshells. If love was tied to anxiety, chaos, or rejection when you were little, then as an adult, you unconsciously seek out the familiar pattern, even if it's toxic. It's not because you want to suffer. It's because some deep part of you feels that this is how love is. Inside you, that wounded little child still yearns for the happy ending they never got. Every time you return to your toxic partner, it's like that inner child is trying once more to win over the parent they could never please. You're replaying an old story. If I can make this person love me, then I prove I'm worthy. Then the old wound will finally heal. But this is an illusion. In truth, you're not healing the old wound. You're perpetuating it. The sad familiarity of their neglect or cruelty feels like home to your subconscious, so you gravitate to it, hoping this time you'll earn the love you deserved all along. Recognize this: the pain you know often feels safer than the love you don't. Your past is not your fault, but it lives in you, silently steering you back into the arms of the same hurt over and over until you break the cycle. There's another layer to why you keep going back, a void deep inside that the relationship temporarily fills. Before this person ever came into your life, you might have felt a gnawing emptiness, like something fundamental was missing. Perhaps it's a lack of self-worth, a loss of meaning, or a disconnection from your own spirit. When you met them, the intense highs of the relationship seemed to light up that darkness inside you, at least for a moment. The chaos and passion were all-consuming. They distracted you from feeling empty or lost. In those dizzying highs of affection and drama, you felt alive and seen. It's as if you became addicted to the emotions they stirred in you, using the relationship like a drug to numb a deeper spiritual pain. Over time, you started relying on those emotional extremes to feel okay. Instead of addressing the loneliness or shame buried within, you fixated on getting another hit of their attention. This is often called an emotional addiction. You're not addicted to being hurt. You're addicted to the makeup moments, the rush of relief when they return, the brief validation that momentarily quiets your inner demons. Meanwhile, the hole in your heart, your spiritual emptiness, only grows when the high wears off. You find yourself emptier than before, desperately craving the next reunion, the next apology, the next tender kiss to assure you that you're worth something. It's a vicious cycle. The more you use the relationship to fill your void, the larger that void becomes when the relationship inevitably lets you down. And so you cling tighter, fearing that without them, you'll be left alone with the emptiness you've been running from. It might sound strange, but sometimes pain itself feels like home. When you've lived in chaos and hurt for so long, calm can feel uncomfortable. You might not consciously think this, but a life without the familiar ups and downs of drama can leave you feeling empty or on edge, as if something's wrong. Psychologically, we humans are drawn to what we know. We repeat things because they're familiar. You've learned how to survive pain, how to navigate walking on eggshells, how to endure neglect. It's a familiar dance. But true kindness, genuine respect, a stable love, that can feel unfamiliar, even unbelievable, if you've never known it before. So when someone else offers you healthy affection, you might feel suspicious or unworthy. You might even push it away or sabotage it because deep down you fear that real love will eventually hurt or expose you in ways you don't think you can handle. The devil you know feels safer than a heaven you don't. Every time you return to the toxic relationship, it's like you're saying, I prefer the pain I understand to the uncertainty of something better. This isn't because you want to suffer. Remember, it's because your wounded heart mistakes familiarity for safety. The chaos, the apologies, even the heartbreak, it all follows a script you recognize. In that messed up way, suffering feels like security to the scarred parts of your soul. And so, you gravitate back to your abuser's embrace, like a child clinging to a worn blanket that's covered in thorns. It's not truly safe, but it's what you know. Understanding this truth is crucial. What's familiar isn't always what's good for you. The love you deserve might feel uncomfortable at first exactly because it's peaceful. Healing often means learning to find comfort in peace and boredom rather than in constant pain. Now comes the turning point. How do you break free from this cycle that has dominated your life? The answer begins with a truth as painful as the hurt you've endured. You must let go. Let go of the fantasy that if you just love them enough, they will change. Let go of the hope that this time will be different, that the same cycle won't repeat. You have to face the reality that staying in this toxic loop is slowly destroying you. This is terrifying because leaving feels like ripping away a part of yourself. In a sense it is, When you bonded so deeply, they became entwined with your identity. Pulling away will feel like withdrawal, like tearing an addict from their drug. But my friend, you can survive it. In fact, on the other side of that pain is where you will rediscover yourself. Letting go means choosing you for the first time in a long time. It means bravely stepping into the unknown of life without them, and yes, that may come with a period of profound loneliness and discomfort. But think of it like this: you're performing surgery to remove a poison from your heart. There will be an ache as you heal, but every day apart from them is one day closer to freedom. In that space, you'll start to remember who you were before the pain, or discover who you could be beyond it. Piece by piece, you reclaim the parts of you that you gave away, the hobbies you abandoned, the friends and family you drifted from, the dreams you shelved. Bring them back into your light. As you let the toxic bond dissolve, you'll find your identity was never truly gone, only buried. You are not the broken, desperate person that trauma convinced you were. You are an individual worthy of love and respect, starting with your own self-respect. By letting go, you are not just losing someone, you are finding yourself. And with each passing day, you'll feel that truth a little more. The blurred mirror will clear, and you'll recognize the face looking back at you, the real you, finally emerging from the shadows. You've come this far, and now it's time to break the cycle for good. Healing is possible. Here's your call to action: steps to help you move from pain to empowerment. Acknowledge the truth. Be brutally honest with yourself about the toxicity of the relationship. Name it for what it is: abuse, manipulation, a trauma bond, not true love. Recognizing the problem is the first step toward solving it. Remind yourself that you are not crazy or weak for feeling stuck. You are a survivor who has been coping with a difficult situation. This awareness will be your foundation. Cut the cord. Establish distance. To heal, you need space away from the source of harm. If you can, go no contact with your toxic partner, at least for a significant time, or set firm boundaries if no contact isn't possible. Just like an addict needs to remove the drug, you need to remove their influence to break the addiction. Delete their number, avoid just checking their social media, and resist the pull to see them. It will be incredibly hard at first. You'll feel withdrawal symptoms. The urge to reach out will surge. But each day you resist is a day you regain your power. Surround yourself with people who support your decision to stay away, so when your resolve wavers, they can remind you why you left. Heal your inner wounds. This is the time to tend to that little child inside and the old scars that led you into this relationship. Consider seeking therapy or a support group where you can unpack your childhood attachment wounds and trauma. A professional or a trauma-informed mentor can provide guidance to help you confront feelings of abandonment, shame, or unworthiness that have kept you chained to familiar pain. Through this healing work, you'll start to see that the way you were treated in the past was not your fault, and it doesn't have to define your future. Little by little, you give that inner child the love and validation they have always needed, and you'll find your current self growing stronger and more self-compassionate in the process. Fill your own cup. Begin restoring what that spiritual emptiness has taken from you. Devote time to self-care and self-love. Reconnect with hobbies and passions that make you feel alive and express who you are. Spend time with friends or family who uplift you, or find a community in person or online, that reminds you life can be rich and meaningful without romance. Explore mindfulness, meditation, or spiritual practices that speak to you, rebuilding a connection to something greater or to your own soul. This is about learning to find fulfillment and okayness within yourself, rather than in someone else. As you fill your days with healthy routines and nurturing activities, the void inside will gradually start to fill with peace and self-worth, reducing that insatiable craving for external validation. Set new boundaries and standards. As you heal, you'll redefine what you will and will not accept in your life. Learn about healthy relationship dynamics, read books, watch educational videos, maybe attend workshops. Set boundaries to guard your mental and emotional well-being. For example, promise yourself, I will not tolerate insults, lies, or physical harm from anyone, no matter what. And uphold these rules. Practice saying no and honoring your own needs, even in small ways. This might feel uncomfortable at first if you're used to people-pleasing, but it gets easier with practice. Remember, teaching others how to treat you starts with how you treat yourself. So speak kindly to yourself, celebrate your progress, and refuse to tear yourself down. In time, your self-esteem will grow, and with it, the kind of people and behaviors you invite into your life will improve. You'll start to truly believe and act like you deserve to be treated with respect and genuine love, because you do. Embrace independence. Don't fear being alone. One of the hardest but most liberating steps is to learn that being alone can be healthy, healing, and even happy. Many stay trapped in toxic relationships out of the fear of loneliness or the belief that they can't do life on their own. Challenge that belief. Spend time single, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to get to know yourself. Discover what you like when it's not compromised by someone else. Create a safe, comforting home environment that is yours. Yes, there will be moments of loneliness. That's normal. But you can fill those moments with new experiences and people who treat you kindly.